Hey there, YouTubers! It's the Level Designer, and my name's Jeremy, and I'm here with my first video for my big project that I have kind of, teased in the last few months. So, I'm sorry, I'm trying not to talk too much. I did Blocktober, and that was fantastic. But this last month, I think I had flu or something. I was really sick. So now I'm still kind of trying to get over that. So I might be muting my mic throughout this video if I need a cough or anything. But I'm trying not to talk too fast or too much so my throat doesn't, get upset or anything with me. So we're gonna try to be a little bit more chill today. And but I really wanted to get this video out because it's been a while since I made a video, and of course, I was sick last month, but I also wanted to take a little break from recording, play God of War. That was such a great game, so if you guys haven't played it yet, I really recommend that game. But I wanted to make this video because this is the project that I've been kind of teasing throughout October for my videos. And that is, I want to build a multiplayer map for the hypothetical Horizon multiplayer game that I think it's pretty much confirmed that one is coming out. But, we don't know what it's going to be. We don't know, where it's going to be located at. So I wanted to start making this series, especially before more news came out about it. So this is definitely a fan-made map. I'm not associated with the project. I don't know anything about it. I'm just a huge Horizon fan, and I just really want to make something in that universe because I love it so much. So right here, I started building out this level in Unreal Engine 5, and I've took the time to build out some terrain. But not only that, but let me go into play mode here. So I have this character, which is a character from Paragon. It's a free character that Epic has. And then I really like this skin because it, kind of matches that Horizon aesthetic. So I really am liking this character. So I implemented like an actual bow system in here because I wanted to have some sort of like combat thing. You can see it is crouching pops up when I press C. I would like to include crouching, but I haven't really implemented it yet for the character, so I need to figure that out. But one of the biggest things, and I'll kind of show you my document, my design document that I've set up, is I actually have quests. So I can open up this quest log, and there's like group activities and PvP activities. I've set those up so I can actually go up to these NPCs and I can hit interact. So I have all of these different like objectives and a description, and I can hit accept. If I accept it, then, this is a quest that I can activate. And then you can see travel to the Oseram Devil Camp. This is one quest here. It still has some kinks I need to work out on it. Like this, I need to figure out how to like hide that. But that's another quest that I can go in and activate this. So this is a group activity up here. So this is going to be like a PvE thing, and this is going to be the PvP. So if you wanted to do like a group activity, like a co-op thing, I cannot wait to start feeling better. But yeah, if we have a group activity, we can select this. So this is like the first objective is reach the Hunters Collective. And then we can go in here and we've completed that. And then say enter queue for machine hunt, which is one of the PvE activities that I want to kind of play around with as far as like the level design goes. So we have this guy standing right here that we can activate. If we hit that, it will hit complete. You know, in a final game, you talk to him and it enters you into like the queue for the event. And then you would, you know, play the event, and then you'd get this Thunderjaw lens that you get from the specific hunt. And you go back and you'd give it to, I'm guessing, this NPC right here. So I have a lot of cool ideas. Oh, and another thing that I wanted to implement is you know, adding water. So I wanted to add some swimming in. Again, this doesn't really look too great. Of course, the model is very just kind of just like weird stuff's going on. Kind of looks like an eldritch monster in the legs. But again, like I wanted to have some sort of like swimming kind of implemented, because again, like in the Horizon universe, there's, you know, machines that swim. So it'd be really cool to, you know, maybe have some snap maws in here or some tide rippers. I think I am saying those correctly. But yeah, you know, just some prep work that I wanted to really build. You know, I wanted to build out some extra systems to supplement the level design. So really, when you're just working on a project like this, it never hurts to really, you know, build out as much things beforehand to really get a better idea and sense of, you know, what the gameplay is going to feel like. And I would assume if you're working on an actual studio and you're making levels and blocking them out, you know, a lot of the more essential core mechanics are going to be kind of there. Might not be, you know, fine-tuned or anything, but at least you should be able to like move around, you know, get into combat and do, you know, your general game mechanics that are, you know, the most essential to the gameplay loop. So that's definitely essential. So we have this project going, and of course we have this island. But what is this island? You know, where are we? How does this kind of fit in with the overall Horizon world? So one of the things that I did that I haven't really done yet was I set up a design document. And if I go over here, I want to show you kind of the starting point of this design document. So I have, you know, a few different things like information and stuff typed out on this. So we have, you know, we have a grid here that has different aspects to it. And we have different stages. So we have, you know, pre-production right here. And then we have initial block out that you know, I'm going to try to fill out these spaces as the project goes on. So after initial block out, we have like scripting. So if we need to script anything, we can using blueprints. Again, a lot of kind of what I've already built for, you know, like the quest system and swimming and stuff. A lot of this would go into, you know, a lot of that would go into like maybe swimming would be under environment here. And quests would be maybe under game mechanics, or story, I think would actually be more the quest system. So I'm just trying to categorize everything. And then after scripting, we have level details. So if there's any like smaller detail things that we want to add into the level, we'll be able to do that. And actually, a lot of the smaller items here, I might just move that into that space, since we probably won't get to those until later. And then lighting is, again, I was just trying to categorize things. So we have kind of from what I was thinking, the general kind of process of making this level out. Of course, I don't know how big this thing is going to be. This was going to be a big map, but I really had to scale it down because I don't think Unreal Engine was really enjoying how big my map was going to be. And it's kind of better to, I think, especially on just kind of a personal project like this, it might be better to just have a really good vertical slice with a few areas and really fine-tune that area. So I don't think there's really any need to make this a huge area. And maybe it could be like a starting area to where we really are. So yeah, we have, all of the stages of the process here, and then we have a few just categories that I wanted to add. So we have characters here, and of course all of these different characters are kind of represented in the game. So we have Nora here, and we have Oseram, we have Karja, and then we have the Quinn, which I definitely really liked the Quinn in the second game, and I'd really like to explore more of their kind of origins and their culture in this map. And then we have Karja. Oh yeah, Karja, it's part of there. And then we also have Tenakth. I'm not sure if I'm going to incorporate a lot of Tenakth. I forgot how they said it in the game, but I don't know if we're gonna really use a lot of them in this because this is gonna be kind of set somewhere else, and we'll kind of get to that later, but they're gonna be kind of not really a part of this expansion that all of these other factions are kind of taking place with. But there might be, I included them because there could always be, a few Tenakth who want to, separate from their tribe and, live a new life or something. So that's definitely something that's in the cards. And then, of course we have machines, which I think are probably the biggest characters in Horizon, just from a... I think these are really what makes Horizon stand out from any other franchise, are the machines and how just animalistic they are, but they're so different from like any normal other animals that you'd see. They're definitely characters in their own right, and there's so much more. I mean, there's a huge list of machines. I just want to place a couple in here, especially for some of the ones that I had included in the quests. So that's kind of another thing that I wanted to get into. But before we go into the quests, I want to start to really go into this. So we kind of have this grid here that lays everything out, but this is kind of a summary of all of the different aspects overall that I wanted to try to tackle with this project. So if you're not really if you haven't beat the second Horizon game, I am going to probably spoil the game because this is kind of dependent on what went on. So again, if you haven't beat the game, don't read the synopsis. I would recommend, not watching at least this part. Maybe fast forward a little bit until I start really looking at some other stuff. But yeah, I'm definitely going to spoil the games here. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, I'm basically setting this kind of map in Hawaii. I'm setting it in Hawaii, and kind of I think a lot of people were kind of expecting the multiplayer game to be set in Hawaii, or maybe the sequel or something. There's some kind of question around whether the Quinn is from Asia or Hawaii, so that's kind of I think it's a perfect kind of location for especially a multiplayer game. So really, after the events of Horizon Forbidden West, all of these different tribes now, the Quinn, Karja, Oseram, and maybe even a few Tenakth are traveling with all of these different tribes. I also included Nora. The thing with Nora, though, is they're probably, again, going to be kind of more with the Tenakth, where there might be a few Nora here and there. But the Nora are still kind of central to, Colorado, where you start out in the first game. So I really don't expect there to be a huge Nora, presence. But definitely, you'd have to expect that with how popular Aloy is in the original games, and there's probably news that she is bringing back to the Nora, and maybe the Nora are kind of opening up their kind of kind of traditions and trying to do things differently. It could be kind of anything, but I kind of like the idea of few Nora coming out and trying to follow in Aloy's footsteps and trying to explore the world and stuff. Especially the people that were closer to Aloy. I know there's a few people that I can't remember their names, but I could definitely see them being in a game like this where they're setting up a shop in like an Oseram camp or something. So yeah, I really think that there was I think it was kind of important to include the Nora. And a lot of these characters, I have them here just for kind of reference for what their characters kind of look like, because a lot of that kind of reflects in the architecture itself. So that's kind of why I have it. And also, we might just block out some simple NPCs. Again, I'm not gonna go too far in depth with creating an intricate character that looks like this, but incorporating characters and having characters that kind of fit the overall just kind of shape of what these guys wear. So I could block out just like these giant skirts across just like a normal guy, like what this dude has, to really sell the point that this is an Oseram camp. So there's different things that we can utilize for that. So with that in mind, yeah, we have just different we have all of these different groups coming together, and they want to really go into Hawaii and stake claim to it, and there's precious resources out there, and there might be something else. Let me read this, because I typed this a while ago. yeah, gain more land and resources. All of these tribes are going out to settle the few islands left of Hawaii to claim stakes. So again, I wanted to really think about, you know, the sea levels rising. That's kind of what happened in San Francisco. You know, in Forbidden West, most of it I think was pretty much flooded, and a lot of it was underwater. So I'd assume that Hawaii's kind of in the same state with this. So really the PvE and the PvP kind of comes in play with all of these different tribes, and I kind of like the idea of having players pick what tribe that they want to be a part of, kind of like something like Elder Scrolls Online, where you can pick different factions and have these factions kind of go against each other, but also working with each other as well in certain aspects. So, you know, a player will choose their faction, and you know, the themes surrounding this are going to be teamwork, hunting, and conflict. So those are kind of the main things that I want to kind of keep in mind when designing, you know, what is a sort of area, what story is a certain area trying to tell. So these are kind of great main pillars that I can kind of go with. And then we have gameplay. So I really wanted to incorporate missions, have mission structures, and have different activities that players can partake in, PvP and PvE. So that's why I really wanted to design I really wanted to create a quest system. And, you know, we might not have, excuse me. We might not have, you know, fully fledged playable missions, but I definitely can build out kind of the structure and have the quest kind of direct kind of the person that we're going to be controlling to just an area, and just kind of have it be like, okay, this is where this takes place, and have it go back. So again, there's different things that we can utilize with a quest system like this. But some of the things I wanted to create was for PvP modes, PvP combat, which is going to be your standard, you know, team deathmatch mode, or even maybe free for all. So those are really going to be your very plain basic player versus player content is PvP combat. And we have PvP resource skirmish. So it's going to be kind of like the normal PvP mode, but there's going to be, you know, resources that are going to be spread out throughout the map that you'll have to, you know, pick up, and the team with the most resources wins. So that's one thing that I wanted to incorporate. And then the last PvP mode that I included was traversal challenges. So, you know, this could be more of a just like a general race that people, you know, have to maybe people have to climb, you know, a mountaintop in order to get to the very top, and then they win. You could also do machine races. I know that they had machine races in Forbidden West. So again, that's something that, you know, you can definitely create kind of an environmental layout for. That's kind of the goal with these gameplay modes, is creating different kind of structures and ways that we can create the environment to tailor different types of play. So with that in mind, we have some PvE modes. So the PvE modes, oh, I was moving that board. So the PvE modes, we have machine hunts. So it's going to be kind of more of your like Monster Hunter type of mode where you and a bunch of other people are working to take down a giant machine. And of course, this is, these machines can be designed a little bit differently. Something that's a little bit more akin to Monster Hunter. So maybe they just have a giant health pool and they are a lot more aggressive. So yeah, it's something that we can kind of just play around with in this specific build. And then we have PvE Cauldron Raids. So this is going to be more of a like an in-game type of activity where you and a group of many people are going to go through cauldrons, and they're going to act as like kind of your in-game raids that have different bosses and different areas that many people will have to kind of overcome in order to surpass. So I feel like that was kind of a cool way to incorporate cauldrons, especially as like a multiplayer centric kind of thing. And then the last thing we have are relic hunts. So relic hunts are just maybe more of a smaller group activity where maybe you and 3 other people or 6 are trying to search for a relic or a certain set of relics, and there's different challenges that you have to overcome, whether that be traversal or combat. So yeah, I mean, there's different things that we can kind of play around with this. And then with this, let me go down. We have also like an environmental kind of feeling. I, of course, went with tropical post-apocalyptic ruins. This is going to be set in Hawaii. So, we want to look at kind of what is in Hawaii. Of course, a big thing about, the Horizon games are they do incorporate different landmarks within their games, even though they're not, specifically the same size, landscape wise, or map size to what, is actually, the layout of America. But again, utilizing, the environment with, ruins and stuff, and also building out these kind of newer structures with all the different tribes. Like I know Karja has a lot of architecture that is really unique to them, and Oseram. That's something that we're definitely going to incorporate. So, right here with the story, I wrote out just a general kind of outline for what all of the different quests can be about. So again, with like the machine hunts, I have a Karja hunter is having trouble taking down a Thunderjaw, stalking a small village. For the PvP traversal challenges, we have a visiting Tignok wants the players to race to the top of a mountain cliff to please the Ten. So the Ten is something from the Tignok's kind of background and culture that I wanted to incorporate. So they can bring good fortune to the island. We also have a PvP resource skirmish where Oseram blacksmiths in the settlement are having a hard time finding a volcanic steel. Compete against a team to find the precious metal. And then we also have a relic hunt where the Quinn believe a rare relic lies below an underground bunker guarded by a Tide Ripper. So we're gonna incorporate a Tide Ripper within this relic hunt quest, and we can have it to where the players can have to deal with the Tide Ripper either while underwater, or maybe there's one on the shore. Again, kind of incorporating some of the stuff from the machine hunts here, but where you have to look for a specific relic, not necessarily hunt a machine. And again, we have the Karja and Oseram are in land dispute over a crashed metal devil. So there's these giant metal devils around the world, and I think it would be really cool to incorporate a metal devil, and we could really block one out and make it look really cool, and make it look like something out of a Horizon game. So I definitely want to incorporate that. So right here, and this is probably images I'm going to kind of go back to on my second screen throughout the build of the project, but I wanted to incorporate as many images as I could, so I have, you know, things from Hawaii itself. You know, I could really zoom into these and really just take a look at all of these, and it really helps. It really helps with like looking at references where I don't have to like pull up all of the images and tabs and switch to tabs. So it's just a lot more of a fluid way to look at different references that I want to incorporate. But there's a lot of different cool ideas, so I kind of wanted to start out with general pictures of Hawaii to kind of get a good sense of, you know, what this landscape actually needs to look like. You know, I don't want to completely you know, take stuff from, you know, Forbidden West or Zero Dawn. So I wanted to lay out all of these images, and then I started incorporating some images from the games. So, you know, I wanted to have, you know, a few like, oh, what do ruins usually look like for that? You know, also what does the foliage look like in the games? You know, what do different types of things look like? Here's a crashed airplane, it looks like. Couldn't mute my mic there. And then of course, like the certain area that I'm going to start out building is this Oseram village. So I really wanted to, you know, get little bits and pieces of Oseram, you know, technology, architecture, and really look at, you know, all of the different, like, I really like the tables here and the chairs. It'd be really cool to look at. And we also have some tents here, and we kind of have, you know, what their interiors kind of look like. There's just so much cool, you know, things that we can get from all of this. So, you know, I really liked kind of how this looks. You know, there's a few instances where, you know, there's just a lot of this sort of architecture that exists. And then, of course, this is kind of the blueprint for where I'm going to kind of get inspiration from for my Oseram village. And, of course, you know, it might not hurt to go back to Zero Dawn and look at some stuff from there, because there's definitely architecture from those games. But yeah, we have a good amount of reference there. And then, yeah, like this stuff, like I really like these arches. I really want to incorporate that. And then we have just kind of general idea of what you know, these places look like. There's a lot of, you know, cloths and a lot of just pans and tools around. I really like that. I think that could really enhance a block out, and there's always something that we could do with that. Again, sorry about that. Again, I wanted to really look at ruins. So the good thing about San Francisco is it's not going to look entirely different from what Hawaii is going to look like, a little bit. But, you know, I really wanted to, you know, get some good screenshots of, you know, San Francisco as a ruin, and different, you know, different things about, like, there's a bunch of ruins in the water, and there's just a lot of cool stuff in here. Of course, I really wanted to get a lot of reference with the Quinn, especially with how new they are from Forbidden West. So I just took a lot of screenshots of, you know, their ships that they have and all of their different like equipment. I think I had, that's some Oseram stuff there. Let's say I had, yeah, that's kind of all that I had there. And then I had, you know, I have also like game mechanics that I need to kind of fully flesh out. You know, there's different tools and weapons in Horizon. I don't know if I'm really gonna, I don't know if I'm really going to play around with like a combat system or anything. I'd like to build out just a normal, and maybe it's gonna look, maybe it's gonna look really janky, but I would at least would like to figure out a way to have like, here's a simple block out of like a machine, and then it just follows a path, and just kind of getting that laid out. And then maybe if you just hit it with an arrow, it just gets destroyed. So that's probably all I'm gonna really do as far as like combat. I'm not gonna really build out anything as far as like AI, other than maybe it just follows a path, and I can at least set out what the path is. So that's kind of my plan for that. And then we have some lighting stuff again. It might be really good to look more at some specific lighting examples from the game and incorporating that. I also have some interactable items that I'm going to use from the game. So like for one of the missions, you have to get a Thunderjaw lens, I think from the Machine Hunt. So that's definitely going to be in there. Again, that's just going to be a device to basically progress a mission. So we can kind of have those missions, build them out, and then make those missions take you to different areas of the map, and we can play around with, you know, how would a player get to a specific area in a map and stuff. So that's kind of the main reason why I have items in here to begin with, is just to progress quests, so quests can guide a player to a specific area, and how can we play around with that. So I think with that in mind, that's basically all that I have for the document. Of course, there's like Carja, you know, architecture that, you know, I still have to add to this, and maybe some other stuff. It might not hurt to add some Nora stuff and Technoth environment artwork to it. And then, yeah, I'm kind of at just the pre-production stage, trying to build out everything else. And then I think in the next, you know, starting out, excuse me, I think next, you know, next videos, I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know how big things are going to go, but definitely I think next step is just to start building out, you know, the world. So I think I am going to start out building out just an Oseram village in this area. And then, of course, we have all of these different terrain things here. So I made out terrain. I have all of this foliage. I don't even know how to talk anymore. And again, like, this is really nice. You know, of course, I will probably go back and really make this look better. But I just want to get a sense of like, okay, what is the foliage gonna look like in this level? And another thing that I also want to try to change on this is just the general textures on the environment, because I'm not really a huge fan of them. And it's something specific with a pack or something that I downloaded. So yeah, I definitely have a good starting point. I'm definitely not finished building things out, but I figured I'd start out and just make a video. I know this is probably not the most interesting video to watch. I didn't really do anything other than just go through what I've been doing on this project, but I wanted to give you guys kind of a peek behind the scenes of the work that I've been doing, somewhat through the last like half of October, and then also some work that I did last month. But honestly, in the last month I've been really sick, and of course I'm still recovering. Now I'm at the very, very tail end of it, but I've been coughing still, and of course talking is not really a safe thing, I guess, for me as far as coughing goes. But yeah, I'm feeling much better, and I'm hopeful that I can start making videos of this, and this is something that I want to definitely put on a portfolio. And I would really want I really want to attract some eyes to this, because I love Horizon. That's probably one of my favorite series of all time. So I really want to give that series justice, and I really want to create something that hopefully other fans of the series will like. So yeah, anyway, I want to thank you guys. I'm going to cut the video here, probably a shorter one, of course, but I'm hopeful that, I can make my next video within the next few weekends. I'm going to try to really keep up with stuff, and hopefully by then I'll feel much more better. It's that time of year again, so I do apologize for, all the breaks and stuff. But yeah, I want to thank everybody for watching, and I hope to see you guys next video. And I hope you guys subscribe, and if you have any questions or concerns, leave a comment down below. But I'll see you guys later. See ya.